From Ghana's heart we take our stand. A future bright, a promised land. With every step our dreams align. Together, strong our spirits shine. FutureRise, we lift the flame, burning bright in every name. With hope and strength, we pave the way, building tomorrow, starting today. The youth arise with endless might. We light the dark, we own the night. With unity our voices soar, breaking through to something more. FutureRise, we lift the flame, burning bright in every name. With hope and strength, we pave the way, building tomorrow, starting today. Hand in hand we'll break the chains. Through the storm, through joy and pain, purpose drives us, hearts ignite. Together we will claim the light. FutureRise, we lift the flame, burning bright in every name. With hope and strength.
You are all welcome. Yes, you are all welcome. You are all welcome. Okay, we would begin with a prayer. Welcome to all who are joining. We'll begin with a prayer. Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we are grateful for this opportunity, committing our program in chains. We pray that you come in full control. We pray for our speakers. And we pray that we'll have a successful program and we'll be impacted. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen. Amen. Yeah, warmly welcome to our program. And hosted by Rise Foundation, and we know FutureRise Foundation is hosting this program, and the theme is tourism and culture for development. Tourism and culture for development. So FutureRise Foundation is hosting this pilot program under the theme Tourism and Culture for Development, and is an initiative, and it's in the foundation's commitment to empowering Ghanaian youth and communities exposure to the untapped potentials of the tourism and cultural sector as tools for national development. empowerment and social cohesion. So this program brings together for local leaders, stakeholders in tourism, culture and development, as well as students in knowledge sharing, skill building, and networking around the intersections of tourism, culture, heritage, and community advancement. So, and we also have seasoned speakers to speak to us. Yes, so let's expect nothing but an exciting and an impactful session. Okay. Please let's continue to share the link to us as they join. Um, so we have certain objectives of this program. The pilot program is designed with the following core objective. So we have awareness creation to enlighten participants on the vast social economic potential embedded in Ghana's tourism and cultural assets. Again, to promote understanding of the value of preserving and promoting indigenous cultures and heritage. We have capacity building to equip young people with foundational knowledge in tourism development, culture, heritage, management, and community-based tourism. To introduce participants to digital tools and innovative strategies driving modern tourism, networking, and collaboration. So the key segments of the program. So this program will feature an opening address and a welcome speech by our founder and team lead of FutureRise Foundation. We also have a panel discussion with tourism professionals, cultural advocates, and youth leaders. We also have a workshop on sessions on digital tourism, cultural storytelling, and destination branding. We also have a questions and answer session. All right. Okay. So please let's expect a lot in this session, and we are going to learn a lot. We are going to be empowered. All right. All right. All right. So to all who just joined, you are welcome to FutureRise Foundation. And this program, as I mentioned earlier, is being spearheaded by FutureRise Foundation, and it's a pilot program. And the theme is tourism and culture for development. And this initiative is a key step in the foundation's commitment to empowering young Ghanaian youth and communities through exposure to the untapped potentials of the tourism and cultural sectors as tools for national development, youth empowerment, and social cohesion. And this pilot program is also designed with the following core objectives. So we have an objective of creating awareness, that is enlightening participants on the vast social economic potential embedded in Ghana's tourism and cultural assets. We also have an objective of capacity building, that's equipping young people with foundational knowledge in tourism development, cultural heritage management, and community-based tourism. We are also aiming to introduce all participants to digital tools and innovative strategies driving modern tourism. Community engagement and development is also an objective, that is exploring how cultural tourism can be a tool for job creation and rural development. We also seek to discuss the role of traditional authorities, local artisans, and cultural custodians in sustainable tourism. Youth empowerment, so an objective to inspire involvement in tourism, entrepreneurship, and advocacy for culture-led development. We seek to network and collaborate. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thanks for joining. And at this moment, I would call on the FutureRise founder and team lead to give us the welcome address. And he's in the person of Mr. Nana Yao Edu Abuaje. He will again give us an overview of the foundation's mission and vision. Mr.
Okay.
Nana Yao Edu Abuaje, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mrs. Bechi, for such a wonderful introduction. Okay, so yes, so thank you very much. I would like to go off video for now. Yes, and stick to. Yeah, so esteemed guests, facilitators, partners, and of course, our future presidents, ministers, travel influencers, and cultural icons currently disguised as participants. Akwaba, welcome to the FutureRise Foundation Ghana's pilot program. And now, before we go any further, relax. This isn't one of those programs where we speak big grammar and leave you more confused. Today, we are here to connect, to learn, and build something great. And maybe become famous tour guides in the process. Who knows? This exciting event themed Tourism and Culture for Development marks the beginning of something historic. A movement that says Ghanaian youth deserve more than motivational quotes on WhatsApp statuses. We are here to create real opportunities. The idea for this foundation was born not in an air-conditioned office with rolling chairs and coffee machines, but from real experiences in classrooms, in villages, in bus stations, and even during those moments when you ask yourself, hey God, what next? I realized that our youth are not short of talent or dreams. We are only short of platforms that believe in us. And so FutureRise Foundation Ghana was born. Our mission is simple but powerful: to empower young Ghanaians through education, leadership development, and sustainable livelihood creation. In short, I would say we are building responsible citizens with big hearts, sharp minds, and deep cultural roots, who can slay in suits and also in the kente. This program is a reflection of that vision. Over the course of today, we will dive into how Ghana's rich cultural heritage and tourism sector can create jobs, can identify and promote peace, and most importantly, allow us to enjoy jollof in more regions than our hometowns. To our brilliant participants, this is more than just another workshop. This is your chance to dream aloud, to network without asking, please, do you have a business card? And to take the first step towards becoming change makers. We see you, we believe in you, and we are here to help turn your what ifs into why nots. To our generous partners and supporters, those who give time, resources, ideas, or even just reply to our emails, we say thank you. And to everyone who joined here curious, you are welcome to join our mission. Whether you sponsor us with cash, connections, or even cola nuts, we appreciate it all. If anything you hear today inspires you, don't go home with goosebumps alone. Connect with our team or email us at FutureRise Foundation Ghana at gmail.com. Let's build a Ghana where culture is a currency and tourism is a tool for transformation. So once again, welcome. Open your minds, take notes, and enjoy every moment of this FutureRise experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that was our foundation's founder and team lead, FutureRise's founder and team lead, Mr. Nanaya. Thank you so much for the address. And he mentioned that this is not one of the programs where big grammar will be spoken to leave you confused. This, we are going into details, and I believe you all benefit from it. Thank you so much. Without wasting much time, we'll go straight into our first keynote presentation. And this presentation will be given by Mr. Bernard G. Denyame. And Mr. Denyame is a teaching and research assistant in the Department of Geography and Rural Development at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And he was also, or he is, the valedictorian tourism. He is the valedictorian of the tourism class of 2024. So he is poised, and he has a lot of knowledge about whatever he's about to present to us. So please, let's take note. So I'll welcome Mr. Bernard G. Denyame to take the floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam. And a very big thank you to our founder and our CEO. That is how I call him, CEO Nana. So that's very fine. I greet all of you that are present here, and it's a wonderful opportunity to share my insight in tourism with us all, and also learn from the brilliant minds over here. Without wasting much time, I would move on to my topic, and I will be treating tourism as a tool for development. Tourism as a tool for development. So someone may ask, what is tourism in general? What is tourism? Like, why are we bothering ourselves with tourism whilst there is medicine, there is engineering, there is arts, there is sociology, there are other various disciplines, but for us, we've decided to be enthused in tourism. Okay, so tourism isn't a modern concept. Let me clear this thing. Tourism isn't a modern concept. I remember when we came in level 100, we were, kind of discouraged that people are doing big courses, but you just came to do tourism, and we in a way considered ourselves inferior to the other courses. You get it? But upon completion, that is where we realized, or that is where I realized that the path that we've taken as students or as people who decided to go straight into the direction of tourism, it's very, very beneficial, not just to us but to ourselves, to our communities, and to the nation at large, right? So I'll just delve small into the origination of tourism, how tourism evolved or how tourism revolved, and what we have now, right? So tourism existed over 2,000 years ago, okay, beginning in ancient Rome when wealthy Romans would travel to rural coastal areas to escape summer heat in cities. During the medieval period has to do with the 5th and the 15th century. You get it? Religious pilgrims began traveling to visit holy sites, staying in simple inns along the way and stuff. And okay, so delving straight to the 18th century, that is the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution, you get it, which the Europeans began traveling for health. So that was where development or much attention began to, ascend on what tourism. Yeah, so the Europeans were traveling for health, for culture, for education, visiting spas, seaside towns, and studying art and architecture in popular places. Example, when we talk of architecture and we talk of buildings, your mind will be casted straight to Italy, right? So just as in accounts, we have the father of economics, which I believe you all know, Adam Smith, right? But in tourism too, we have someone who's also called the father of tourism, who is in a person of Thomas Cook. In the year 1841, he was the first person to ever create the first travel agency in the world, Thomas Cook and Son, in the year 1851. So you now understand where tourism actually evolved from, right? And we will come to why we are here now. Okay, so that is that. Then we also move on to the definition of tourism. So I've just delved to the origin of tourism, how tourism came about. So what then is tourism? Earlier scholars have given numerous explanations, numerous definitions to the word tourism, and I would just like to pinpoint on a few, then we move on to it. So Arthur Bowman, in the year 1930, he described or he defined tourism as a set of trips whose purpose is pleasure or business or professional reasons and the like, and for which there is absence of what habitual residence is temporal. That is according to Arthur Bowman. Then another well-known scholar, he was also called Walter Hansiker. So don't be afraid by the names. Just bear with me, okay? And Kurt Kraft, in the year 1942, they also defined tourism as a set of relationships and phenomena produced by the movement and stay of people away from home, which such movements and residents are not motivated by a lucrative business. So all these are definitions of earlier scholars on what tourism. But the worldwide accepted definition was given by United Nations World Tourism Organization, that is UNWTO. They define tourism as a set of activities of persons traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for no more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes, not related to the exercise of an activity remunerated from within the place visited. So a very simple and concise is that tourism is just a movement of place of origin to a destination, right? And that person or those groups of people stay more than a day, right? Meaning they will need accommodation, okay? They spend more than a day for these various purposes. That is either for leisure, either for recreation, either for business, and for other purposes as well. But the exercise that they are going to undertake at the destination must be free from remuneration. Remuneration simply means they must not be paid for the activity they will engage in at the destination. So that is a very simple and concise definition for what for tourism. I will just move on straight to the forms of tourism. There are several forms of tourism, which I can't mention all, but I'll just pinpoint on a few. We have leisure tourism, which includes vacation, relaxation, and sightseeing. We have cultural tourism that focuses on the historical, artistic, and social aspects of what destinations. We also have eco-tourism. Other books or other versions say ecological or tourism, that is environmentally responsible travel to natural what areas. We have wellness tourism, we have medical tourism, we have business tourism. So business tourism, we classify it as MICE, MICE. That is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, which is on the emergence now. Sports tourism, traveling to attend or activities, going to experience Club World Cup event. There are a whole lot of people traveling to the USA just to have a watch or just to have a look at the football matches that are going to be undertaken there. So that is also part of tourism, and it's on the emergence now. Okay, then we also have culinary tourism, that is traveling for food experiences, religious travel for religious purposes like pilgrimages, especially with our dear Muslims, the Hajj, and the travel to rural areas for rest or agricultural experience. Then the last one will be adventure tourism, which I know we are aware of what the meaning of adventure is, right? Okay. It involves physically demanding activities and exploring what new environments. That is what adventure simply means. I'm very sure that we all heard the news of the submarine Titanic sub got as when they went to look at the Titanic, right? That's also it's also an adventure tourism, but unfortunately they died. It's also part of tourism. Okay. Then recently there was an eruption, a volcanic eruption in Italy. So the name of the mountain was called Mount Etna. Mount Etna. It also experienced volcanic eruption. Tourists went there. I think thousands of tourists. Yeah, they were present, just going to have a look at how the mountain looks like and explore the scenery over there. But unfortunately, none of them died though. But the scenes that came out from that particular place was very, very disheartening. Okay, so that is that. So this is just a brief introduction of tourism, of how tourism evolved stages up to now. So I'll just dive straight into what we came here for. That is tourism as a tool for development. Tourism as a tool for development. So someone asked, what then is development? What then is development? Earlier scholars, provided the definition that development in itself, okay, it has to be measured by economic indicators. You get it? It has to be measured by economic indicators. So if your economic indicator for measuring development is very low, meaning that you are underdeveloped or you are less developed, we get it. So that is that. But earlier definitions or earlier scholars, example, Amartya Sen, he came out with the definition of development, which I would like to dwell on to make my presentation. He said development refers to these three key things. 1, development must lead to alleviation of poverty. 2, development must lead to expansion of what human capabilities and freedom. 3, development must lead to justice and democratic participation. Please take note of these three because I'm going to use it very much, right? So that is what Amartya Sen said about what development. But earlier scholars used what economic indicators. So I'm just going to do small on the economic indicators. Then we move on to the human capabilities, freedoms, and the democratic participation linked to tourism, right? So the global economy of tourism. Global economy of tourism. Tourism is it's a thriving industry, and money, revenue is being generated from it. Revenue is being generated from it. It's such a pity that we, the citizens, or we, the indigenous, we don't feel the monetary aspect of what tourism. But today we are just going to delve into it. The World Travel Tourism Council (WTTC) is projecting a record-breaking year for travel and tourism in the year 2024, reaching an all-time higher $11.1 trillion. I said again, $11.1 billion, not billion, no, $billion. So you can bear with me the amount of money that is generated from travel and tourism. You get me? According to the Global Tourism Body 2024 Economic Impact Research, travel and tourism will contribute an additional 770 billion over its previous record, stamping its authority as a global economic powerhouse, generating $1 in $10 worldwide. $1 in $10. So it simply means that every $10 that is generated from all industries in the world, tourism and travel has $1 in it. So you can imagine the development of tourism in the next years, or in the next few years to come. Okay, not just about the money, but let us also look at the economic impact with reference to employment. Let's look at the number of jobs that has been created, and we would move on. In partnership with the Oxford Economic, WTTC latest showcase a sector brimming with opportunities underpinning almost 348 million jobs globally. I said 348 million jobs globally. So you can bear with me that tourism actually generates a lot in terms of revenue and jobs. But here in our mother Ghana, here in our mother country, are we experiencing it? I'm sure the answer is no. You also say so. So this represents an increase of more than 13.6 million jobs compared to its highest point in the year 2019. So 10 years from now, this is just a projection that was made by the body. They are saying that 10 years from now, it is likely that the global economy will reach a staggering $16 trillion, making up to 11.4% of the entire economic landscape. Enough with the numbers, or with the amount that I mentioned, but that is reality on the ground. Okay, so that is the amount of revenue that tourism alone generates, right? So let's deal with that part. So now we will delve to the expansion of human capabilities and freedoms in tourism, and the justice and democratic participation in tourism, which I define it as community-based and sustainable tourism. Community-based and sustainable tourism. I think I have a few minutes, and I'll wrap up very soon. So community-based and sustainable tourism, it's a tourism model where local communities actively participate in planning, managing, and benefiting from tourism activities. So here there are two components here: community-based and sustainable tourism. The word sustainable or sustainability simply means that the benefit of tourism must not only satisfy the needs of the present generation, but also it must also think about the needs of the future generations as well. And with these components, with the community-based or sustainable tourism, three key things are noted here. One, it has to do with the generation of positive impact for the visitors. Two, for the host community. And three, for the environment. You get this? So that is what community-based and sustainable tourism simply means. So by involving local communities in the planning and management of tourism activities, Ghana is fostering a sense of ownership and ensuring that all the benefits of tourism are shared equitably. So the benefits of tourism must be shared among these three groups equitably. That is, one, the locals must benefit, the tourists must also benefit, that is the visitors, then the environment as well must also benefit. The environment as well must also benefit. Remember, there is no tourism without the environment. You get it? So that is that. So environmental conservation is also very keen here. So I will just delve into real life experiences or real life situations. These three components has been what implemented. So I would move straight to Asia. So there is, in this particular country, that is Indonesia. In Indonesia, there is a tourist site there. It's called Lake Toba, and it holds a significant number of 197,000 travelers every year. A total of 100, on average, a total of 197 travelers move to Indonesia to go and look at Lake Toba. And let's look at what the project focuses on. The project focuses on upgrading the infrastructure, such as roads, water systems, revitalizing attractions to the waterfront and on Samosa Island, and preserving the rich Batak culture through ecotourism sites and conserving traditional villages, that is in the Lake Toba. And with this, the local communities are equipped with skills needed to manage the tourism in a way that it preserves their heritage whilst generating income. Generating income, all thanks to their integrated tourism master plan. That is the ITMP that they call. You get it? That is for the Indonesia. So here we get to understand that the locals themselves are equipped with the skills needed to manage the tourism industry, or needed to manage tourism in Indonesia. Then I would also move to Vietnam. There's also another community development there. It's actually a fishing community. It's called the Charm Island. You can search it out. CHAM, Charm Island. Fishing communities have organized themselves in cooperatives with support from the Marine Protection Board to develop alternative and complementary livelihood around community-based tourism in Charm Island in Vietnam. With this, the locals themselves, and please listen to this, the locals themselves, they've developed homestays, they've built restaurants, they've built coffee shops, souvenir shops, handicrafts, just to sell it to the tourists that are coming there. So they also in turn make economic benefit from it, and they developed their lives as well, thereby alleviating poverty. So the alleviation of poverty is being felt here. Then I'll come down to Ghana. Yeah, Ghana itself. So a whole lot of community-based tourism in Ghana, but I'll just mention two of them. So I just picked two examples, that is Nzulezu and Boti Falls. I'll first talk of Boti Falls and we'll look at the rest. So Boti Falls, I don't know if you've ever been to Boti Falls before. If you haven't, please, it's a very good opportunity for you to join. It says that there are two falls in Boti, the upper falls and the lower falls. Okay, so the main falls, which has widely been talked about, is the lower falls. So it says that the locals describe it as male and female. When the volume of water is high, especially during the rainy season, if you've ever been to Boti Falls before, when the volume of water is high, the two, that is the upper falls and the lower falls, they meet, okay, in what they call the mating ceremony. So this ceremony is graced by the rainbow that is formed by the splashing water. So it's very unique and it's very, very, very nice. Two attractions that are also available for visitors to see, but not directly related to the falls, are the Umbrella Rock and the three-head palm tree. And with this, the locals themselves have managed to develop these sites to enhance visitor experiences, which means that they are not limited by the falls. Tourists are not limited by just the falls, just going to look at the water from above. No, but also there are other sideways attractions that have been set for them to also have a look at it, all thanks to the community. So whereas the locals were involved in the building of that side attraction, for the visitors as well. So there is just a few examples that I can pinpoint. That's a true reflection of what community-based tourism and sustainability. I think I've exhausted my time, and I would like to end here. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Denyame. And that was a great presentation. I bet some of us didn't know how tourism began and all that. In fact, I am an HR practitioner, and I didn't know much about what Prof just presented, and I'm fascinated by the presentation. He presented on how tourism evolved right from Rome, stated the father of tourism. I didn't know there was even a father of tourism, and it's been a great session. And he has affirmed the fact that tourism is a catalyst for development. Thank you very much, Prof. Denyame. If you just join, thank you. If you just joined, we are still in progress. This is FutureRise Foundation, and it's a pilot program by FutureRise Foundation. And it's all about enlightenment and education. And our theme is tourism and culture for development. You are welcome. So that was Prof. Denyame. We'll move on to the next session. And this session will also be done by Mr. John Prempe. Mr. John Prempe is a teaching and research assistant at the KNUST School of Business. He has knowledge about what he will be presenting on. Mr. John Prempe, please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I believe you can all hear me.
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you, madam, for the warm welcome. So I'm going to present on something very important, promoting culture as identity and opportunity. So I'm honored to be here with you today to speak about something that most of us, we hear of, but little attention has been given to it. So thank you, FutureRise Ghana, for bringing this pilot program into reality. So I'll not spend a lot of time on this subject. So if you look at the topic very well, we are talking of promoting culture as identity and opportunity. And this touches on two things, the identity aspect and culture also being an opportunity for us. So I go into this. So what is identity at all? So when we say identity is the set of qualities, beliefs, personality traits, appearance, or expressions that characterize a person or a group. And when we talk of culture, we all know the basic definition for culture. That is the way of life of a group of people. So imagine this. When I mentioned, let's say, Prof. Denyame, and I spell his name wrongly, Prof has every right to tell me to spell his name correctly, because that is his identity. Imagine in a formal meeting of, say, professors, doctors, parliamentarians, we go there and we just mention their name without addressing them with their various titles. They have every right to tell you that my name is Dr. So and so. My name is Professor so and so. And all these things come together to form the identity of a group of people. So it is sad that in our current dispensation, little attention is given to our culture. We find it that is not really important. We tend to learn the European lifestyle, we tend to learn the Western lifestyle, forgoing our own tradition. There's a popular statement by one political activist, Marcus Garvey, said people without the knowledge of their past history. Sorry about that. Hello. Sorry about that.
Yeah, hello. Yes, please. We can
So
hear you. Thank
there's
you.
this one popular quote by Marcus Garvey said people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. We just know that a tree does not just spring forth. It has to go through this same process. The seed in the ground, later develop into roots, come into the stem, then branches. But why is it that we find people who don't really know their history, they don't know their language, and they find it as a flex. They don't know their real identity. So let me ask this question. What is one thing that we would tend to protect about ourselves? Is it the food? Is it the language? Is it the dance? Is it our festivals? What really comes in mind if we want to address you? What really comes in mind? What would be that one thing that you would want to protect? Just think about this. As I said earlier on, there are people who try and defend. Imagine meeting an Ashanti man speaking ill of the Ashanti culture. He will stand up for his culture. Imagine meeting a professor, not addressing him as a professor. He will stand to defend himself for you to address him with his title. So, what is that one aspect of your culture that you like to address? Now, I want us to look at culture as an identity. We know that culture is our collective identity. It connects us to our roots and sets us apart globally. Cultural pride leads to national unity and confidence. Culture is not just what we perform at derbes or festivals, it is our everyday language. The stories our grandmothers tell us, the fabric we wear, the customs we uphold, it tells the world who we are before we even speak. And I must say that there are some people out there doing this for Ghana and Africa as a whole continent who are always putting Ghana on the map. You know, I was always fascinated by this musician, Fuso DJ, always putting Ghana on the continent, on the map to the Western world. I was always fascinated by what he does. You know, bringing those other musicians like Ed Sheeran to come to the country, learn about our ways, and other people in the industry. The Nigerians are also doing very well with their movie production, with partnership on Netflix and the rest, putting Africa on the map. So it is not something we just celebrate. This is who we are. So there are many opportunities in culture when we are actually going to market this. I think the founder of FutureRise made mention of that. That culture is also a currency. And these are marketable assets that we can put out there. You know, within culture, you can find creative industries which will bring about employment and also contribute to the GDP of the country. Again, it can also put Africa on the map, as I said earlier on. Now, let's look at some statistics from UNESCO. So, UNESCO, culture and creative industries according to UNESCO, contributes about 3.1% of global GDP. That is over 30 million jobs worldwide. Just showcasing the culture. 3.1% of global GDP and also providing over 30 million jobs worldwide. Culture today is not just for preservation, it is for participation, from music to movies, fashion to folklore. Cultural expressions can be monetized. They create jobs, bring in tourists, and open doors to the world. It is so heartwarming when you find um, these diaspora people or the white people trooping in the country. You take them to the cultural centers, they buy artifacts, they are fascinated with our Idikra symbols and all other. And it's so interesting to find that in movie productions now, you find these Idikra symbols in some movie productions. And this is so good because it is actually spreading Ghana throughout all continents. So when you dance at the wall, when you wear your beads or speak your local language, always remember that that could be your business, your brand. So we don't just get enthused with Adowa. I think with the culture and tourism course program in the first semester, we are taught about these African dances. We get Adowa, we get Bobobo, and what have you. All these things are supposed to help you. Imagine you being a tour guide. You know, you can inculcate these things into the tour guide business or as a tour operator, or wherever you find yourself. And you can be earning, if I tell you the amount that these people earn, graduation time, they invite these African people just to um, come and perform at the ceremony. And they earn a lot. And these are things that we overlook or we don't regard. And these are things that we overlook. But actually it is very worth it. Now, this tradition, let's look at tradition into tourism. We are going to look at festivals like Panafest, like Chalawate attract how they attract global visitors. Castles, shrines, palaces, and local crafts and traditional foods. Now, you know the number of people who would want to come to Ghana just because of the Chalote Festival, which we have in Jamestown, in Accra. Again, people around the world just to the Mesha Palace, wanting to greet just the king, His Royal Majesty. People just come around just to greet the king and learn about the Ashanti Kingdom. People come around just to be in the castles, Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle, Christianborg Castle, just to learn about slave trade. And Ghana, we are blessed because major activities concerning the slave trade took place in the country, the then Coast. We are well positioned to market all these things. The local craft, as I said earlier on, with the Dinkra symbols, with our regalias, our attire dresses, the smoke, all these things come together to promote the country. And of course, our traditional foods, we normally hear of jollof, debate all here and there, which country produces the best jollof and all. And this is an identity for the country. Now, how do we turn all these things into revenue? Every tradition can become an experience, and every experience can become part of a global tourism product. So the Chalawate festival like this, it started as an art movement, and today it brings thousands from all over the world. So when someone, we have our foods out there, when someone tastes Wache for the first time, say in London or sees Kinte on Paris fashion runways, Ghana is traveling not just our food or fabric, but our essence, our identity. Right. So we are looking at the creative industry and youth innovation. You say culture fuels fashion, music, film, and digital art. Youth-led brands are using culture to build global followings. So there are some people, notable people in the industry that have combined culture with youth innovation. And we have a notable personality, Tembe Magugu. He's a South African fashion designer. He infuses culture into global fashion. So when you look at his work, when you look at his work, he has these South African culture and symbols on his designs. We all heard of Yalto when he came with the best story music, which scaled through Europe and UK to be precise. No, it was top of the chart for months. And he just used the key to enter into the UK charts. So our generation is actually using culture like a code. We have to remix it, we have to rebrand it and export it with confidence. Now Afrobeat is everywhere, and we know that bit by bit we can put everything that we have as a continent out there as well. We are young creative personalities. We should look at the advantages around us, how we can fit them into the tourism industry and market them to the world. Now, we also have the cultural storytelling, and this is a very big virtue for a tour guide. You need to know all these things and play around them. A tour guide who does not know how to storytell, and a tour guide who knows how to, you realize that the one who knows how to will be better off and much, you will get more inventory from the market more than the one who does not know how to storytell. So all these things you have to learn. So the languages, the proverbs, when a white man is supposed to touch down in the country, the first thing he will say is Akwaba, because that is the popular things out there. It's also our responsibility to teach them more, show them our proverbs, and everything that we have. So one thing that we have noticed, since we this generation we are failing to market our culture, we are failing to put our culture out there. Our culture is actually being edited. So this is what I'll call a counter stereotype. When we say stereotyping, it could be a false image of something, right? And this is what is out there. If you don't market it, others will bring. It's either it will get out of the system or they will market it wrongly. And it will be sad to find out that Akwaba will be, instead of Akwaba meaning welcome, Akwaba will be meaning something else because we have failed to put our culture out there. Anyone who does not defend his or her own culture, that is what will happen. People will tend to give it anyhow they want. There was just recently my colleague at the office was looking for Kwame Nkrumah's history and found that there was wrong information about Kwame Nkrumah. And this is so sad. And this was online. And this was a wrong information. So if we don't tend to defend what we have, it will be marketed wrongly. And over time, you realize that we will be wiped off. We will lose our real essence and true identity. So we have a part to play in our African folk tales, have a part to play in guarding our languages, our dresses, our dance, and everything that we have. So our stories matter because for too long, others told them for us. But now we have the platforms. We can write books. We can even film our parents or grandmothers when they are telling us these stories and turn oral traditions into a video. So I chanced on a video one time. It was about a gentleman whose father took pictures of a particular location in Accra Central and how Accra Central looks now. So that was in the 1950s, and he has documented the 1951 and also 2025 version. and we have seen the progress. So all these things, we can do these things to safeguard the culture that we have. And we know that culture is powerful when we start defending it. So this youth, we have a part to play. We shouldn't be shy of our culture, or we should not see it to be a flex. When someone understands the European style, it is a plus to you though, but don't forgo what you have to learn the Western culture. I don't think these white people would forgo theirs and just become fascinated about another person's own. They take theirs first before they start learning the rest. They start to find someone who cannot speak his own language. Who are you then? Imagine we come here, we don't know the names of the people on the the, the meeting. Who are we then? So let's come on board and we find ourselves in this industry. It is even a huge call for us because I know some of us would want to venture into tour guiding. I know some of us would want to be business tour operators. I know some of us would want to own a huge hospitality chain. And all these things are needed for us to know. So let us have this as a responsibility and know much of our culture before going out there. So the last thing that I'll close us with, reports show that Ghana, Nigeria, and other notable countries are actually doing very well through movies, through songs, and we also have a part to play and not to take them away. So I encourage all of us to make it a burden on us to continue to learn, continue to research. Because when these wise people come, they want to know how can take him about. And I know most of us on the meeting might not know the history behind Kente. You want to know how Fugu, why is it the animal skin, how is it made, and all. And these things are important for us. So God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Prempe. So that was Mr. John Prempe, and he was a speaker. He's a teaching and research assistant at KNUST Business School. And his session has also been another educative one. And it's all about culture or promoting culture as identity. And he has made us all aware that we all play a role, or we all need intentionally play a role in promoting culture as our identity. And we should be intentional about not forgoing our culture whilst learning the culture of the West. Thank you very much once again. If you just joined, this is FutureRise Foundation, and the session is still going. So we'll zoom into the next speaker, and the next speaker is also a tourism graduate. He is a digital content creator, and he is the valedictorian of the tourism class 2023. So our speaker would speak to us about the youth action and digital tourism. He is in the person of Mr. Simon Dachumo. Mr. Simon Dachumo, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here to present on this great and amazing topic. But before I say anything else, I want to say a very big shout out to Honorable Nanayao for there's input. Being the CEO and then the team lead for this project, it's so amazing. I wasn't expecting this from him. Like, yeah, I was expecting if I found out that this is coming from Prof. Pempre, Denyami, Haba. Nana Yao is always the cool type reserve. He's not showing up. So the day he reached out saying that he would want me to jump on this, I was so surprised. And I must say, he's striking on the right path, and then he should continue. And then I'm also saying that the team should be united so that at the end of the day, we'll say that you guys have done a great job. Now to my topic, I am to present on youth action and digital tourism. Youth action and digital tourism. Now, at the end of the day, we are looking at some outlines. So these are the objectives that I'm to present on. So I will be presenting on the concepts of digital tourism, youth-driven digital tools for tourism promotion, and then compelling cultural stories. So Prof. Denyami, Sir John have highlighted more on tourism already. And so I will just go straight into that. I wouldn't want to waste the time for our audience. So, yes, so when we say digital tourism, what is it? It refers to the use of digital technology to enhance, promote, and experience tourism. It transforms how people plan, explore, experience, and share travel by integrating tools like websites, apps, or if you say applications, virtual and augmented reality, social media, and artificial intelligence. That is digital tourism. It is just a form of tourism where you don't really have to travel to the real destination. So, Mountain Afaja in the heart of the Volta region. One person can just travel there, take compelling videos, put it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then from wherever you are, you experience, you enjoy the view. That is digital tourism. Now, let's look at key aspects of digital tourism. There are a lot, about throw light on few of them. We have online booking and planning. In recent days, you don't really have to travel to the destination before you go looking for your accommodation or even how your experience will go on. Just go online and you can book your flight, your hotel, your tours, whatever you want to do. They are all online. There are recommendations online. So access to information in our age is easier and convenient as compared to the olden days. We also have social media influence, as you know, the Gen Z talk of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the rest. We also have digital maps and navigation. So you see that nowadays you don't have to go asking for directions. With the help of your Google Map, Apple Map, offline GPS, you can navigate through unfamiliar locations, find your attractions, restaurant, public transport routes, and all that. With the emergence of AI and chatbots, you see that they can personalize your travel advice, customer service, and so you see that on WhatsApp, people can actually send you messages whereby if you are not online at the moment, you programmed the chatbot to reply on your behalf. First, unless the customer service is with the phone or the machine to reply your message or your inquiry on the spot. But now, even if you are busy, your chatbot can just help you do that. Now, what are some of the benefits of digital tourism? As I mentioned earlier, it is convenient because it is faster and easier to access information, and then getting information to services, like, it's very easy in our generation. The other day I was going to explore the tallest and most iconic waterfall in the heart of Volta region, Hohwe. I just a phone call away, I got the details, how much we had to pay, the type of accommodation we are looking for, food and all that. That is convenience we are talking about. Accessibility. It is open up for anyone who is physically fit, or yes, if you want to go and then have the experience in the real life yourself, if you are physically fit, you can travel there. If you don't have the time or if you don't have the money, just with your smartphone, your internet connection and data bundle, we are good to go. And then personalization. It is tailored based on what recommendations that others who have experienced the place already. So I've been to Blue Waterfalls. At the end of the day, you go online, you post it, you give your remarks about the place. Someone will see it, and then they will be motivated to also explore these same destinations. Now, when it comes to promotion, digital tourism helps lesser known destination to gain global exposure. Currently in the Volta region, there are new tourist destinations that are emerging. There's one new one that I've not been to yet, and I'm planning to do that. It is called Agbenua Camp. They have the zip line, they have the water body experience that I am yet. So you can do your kayaking, the jet ski experience. It's located at Pando, and God willing, next month or next 2 months, I'm planning to experience that. Because as Prof. Denyami said, we have different types of tourism, and the one I love is adventure. So I do more of hiking, mountain hiking, canopy walks, and all that. So I would love to try that as well. Now let's look at some youth-driven digital tools for tourism promotion. Now we have the digital platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. In today's world, even our grandmothers, they're on TikTok. So the smallest thing you put on TikTok is going viral. And we know people like Wademaya, they have the name. People like Scanty when it comes to tourism. We have people like Kobilame. They are not in the tourism sector, but they are also using these platforms to to generate revenues for themselves. So basically, it's not just for the purpose of this session, it's tourism, but others also have interest in other disciplines, education, medicine, just to mention few. People are using these platforms to generate income for themselves. Other platforms that youths can engage for tourism promotion is blogging platforms like Medium. We also have WordPress, vlogging tools and apps, CapCut, the one I'm currently learning. When I plan on starting on my content creation, I had no solid skill in content creation. All that I can do is that I know I am very good at when it comes to presentation, giving well organized informations. I can do that, but shooting videos to attract people, editing them to keep my audience engaged, and then still asking for more, I have no idea. So when I started, I had to pay someone to edit. But at the end of the day, you realize that for me, nobody is sponsoring this. It's just a personal thing I'm doing. So from you paying your own transportation, accommodation, food, and once this tourist destination know that you are coming to shoot it for content creation, they charge some amount. I was at Keta in the Volta region for present time. I had to pay 230 cedis for the tour guide to give me the history about the place, how it came about, and everything. So when you do all this, and you now have to pay another person, a third party to, or a second party to edit your videos, you see that at the end of the day, you spend much before achieving your aim. So quickly, I jumped on YouTube and I was going through videos how to edit video using CapCut. So right now, I'm happy to say that when it comes to basic knowledge about CapCut, I can do something small. I can do something small. And those on this call, I'll be very glad if we can collaborate. If you are good at video editing, I have a lot of videos on attractions that are even yet to be launched. For example, the Jamadudu Museum in the heart of the Ashanti region. I've been there. They will launch it this month, 22nd. I'm sure that'll be next week, Saturday. They'll be launching that tourism attraction. I was there, and but I'm yet to release that video because the videos are just there. So if you're on this call and you are good at video editing, please let's keep in touch and let's see how we go about all these things. Now, we also have Google Maps and then Trip Advisor. If you want personal recommendations, more details about where you want to go, when you jump on the internet, these things are here to help you. Now, how do we create a tourism promotion post? We have tools like Canva. As I said earlier, CapCut can also help. InShot is there. So you need some element to stand out. Things like your image, your text, your logo, and hashtags. There are hashtags that when you use them, they will drive your videos to reach a wide or global audience. I remember I've been posting my videos on TikTok, but the highest view that I got was 700 and something. That was when I met Wadimaya in the Volta region. Then I didn't use the trending hashtags. So recently I went to a friend's wedding. I took my time, did my SEO optimizations, search engine optimization. So I used the right hashtags. As I'm speaking right now, that video got about 6,000 getting to 7,000 views. So we have these tools there. And so your image, your text, your logo, and your hashtags, these things will help you to promote tourism using these digital tools, your laptop, your phones, the internet, the Wi-Fi, using these things to help you to promote tourism destination. Now, how do we tell stories as youth in tourism? We need to look at authenticity, being original. We should create our own trend where people will follow. We shouldn't just sit at one place, someone will do something. We don't have much information about it. So when Prof. Prempe was presenting, he was talking about people can even mention your name wrongly. They can pronounce your name wrongly, and there's a need for you to correct them. So in the process of creating this authenticity, once you create your video, you can put your logo there, add your name. No matter how hard people are trying to get your video and take your identity or your brand off, once you have added that already, they will not be able to take it off unless they add their own information to it. So when you go check people like Keta Vibes, Derek, Bansa, Sledge, in all their posts, you see that they are adding their brand logo and their name. And whenever you try downloading them, the videos or the pictures come with their name, and there's no way you can take it off. And also, we need to give credit to people that we get videos or pictures from. Let's say our team lead has been to Lake Bosomchi and took some amazing or breathtaking pictures. And so it is nice or it is appealing, and you want to use that on your page. Just post the same picture, but give him the credit. Video credit goes to A, B, C, and D, or the photo credit goes to Mr. Nana Boaje, right? It costs nothing when you use people's video or photos and you give them credit. Sometimes because of competition, we don't want to do that. Because of competition, some people want to be the lead. They are the one creating the trend and you don't want to follow. But it is just good we give credit to people's video or content that we would love to use. Now, in storytelling, we need to showcase culture. As said earlier, our way of life. We need to showcase it. Our friends in the diaspora and other parts of the world, they are conversant with their culture, and we also have our culture. And so we should tell our story, our way of life. We should put it out there. When you visit Fort Princeton in the Volta region, some people came and they wrote that until the lion knows how to tell his or her story, the hunter will always be right. Until we are able to tell our own story, the Europeans will always be the heroes and the protagonists in everything they do. So we should learn to tell our own story, not just following the Western culture blindly. As I'm talking about culture, I'm talking about music, our food, our fashion, and our language. In today's Ghana or in modern Ghana, if you can't flow fluently in English language, you are dumb. You are blockheaded. Once you are speaking your Ewe, especially Ewe, the discrimination is there. Tree. And one thing that gets to me more is that on the local level, we are divided. But when we are being placed on international platforms, we speak like that is what we stand for. But in reality, that is not the case. You see an Ashanti man standing against Ewe man. You see an Ewe man standing against an Akan man. It shouldn't be like that. At the grassroots, we should be united so that one day when we see ourselves on this national or international platform, we just increase the volume. Now let's look another thing in storytelling when it comes to digital tourism. It is ethical tourism. We have ethics everywhere. We should have respect and representation for these cultures that we are promoting. Remember the communities where these attractions are located. There are people living there. What there are rules and there are regulations. Ask permissions before you put their things out there. Even the people that you take videos of, you should ask their permissions before you put it there. They have privacy to these stuffs. Last 2 months, I was at Nogokpo, one of the most revered towns when it comes to the history of Ghana. I was telling the assembly member of the town that while in Ashanti region, I realized there's this stain on the name of the town. So I will be glad if you can permit me to shoot a content telling the whole world how the life of people in Nogokpo is. They are just normal people who go who goes by their daily activities, doing their businesses just like we do in other towns, cities, and what have you. And so from the assembly member, I need to see the chief of the town. Are you getting it? Basically, if I pick my camera and my microphone, I'm a Voltarian. I can speak the language. I can just get people at vantage point, shoot videos, put them together, and off. I put it on the net. But these people are the custodians of the land. And it is just nice you ask permission from them, and with their permission, you can do whatever you wanted to do. But doing it without their permission can bring negative consequences after putting this. You realize that one religious man, Pastor Jinasari, made a comment, and they have to do this back and forth for a while before they leave the matter. So as I'm speaking to you, I was there and they wanted to take me to their shrine and all that. I was kind of scared before their tradition. They started their tradition. So in September, I'll be bringing friends that I'll be collaborating with, and we'll be shooting content. And that will be by the permission of the assembly member together with the chief of the town. So whenever I post this video, I don't have to come and explain myself, come rain, come shine, because I've obtained the necessary permission. So, in we as youth and in promoting tourism in wherever we find ourselves, ethics is of utmost importance. Now, let's look at some youth voices in action when we talk about digital tourism. I always mention Wadimaya. Actually, I was saying the other time that the picture that I took with him when he shook my hands, I will go print it out and then put it in my room. One day, if I become like him, I'll show it to him that yes, he inspired somebody like me, and then I took this part and I never regretted doing that. Professor Dinyami mentioned earlier that when you are in school, people will tell you that upon all the courses, why tourism? When the funny thing about me is that I never planned to read tourism in school. From the very stages of my life, I wanted to do politics. So from primary down to university, there's been one leadership role to another. But when I got to the printing press or the cafe when I was filling my uni application, the man was complaining that upon all the courses, why is it that with a general student, always it's either we want to do sociology or political science or political studies. So where I placed political science, when the man complained, I changed it to BA Culture and Tourism. And to my surprise, when the admission came, it was BA Culture and Tourism. Other than that, today I would have been in the political studies field. And the most surprising thing is that as time is going on, I'm losing interest in politics because I would have to lie. I would have to do negatives, a lot of negative stuff just to appeal to the public. And I'm not willing to do that. We have, as I've mentioned earlier, we have people like Wademaya, we have people like Scanty, we have people like Nomad William. You can look out for them. And myself on all social media platforms. Once you type Selom 99, you get my videos, the places I've been to. Currently, I'm doing the Volta region. I started with Ashanti region, but currently I'm doing Volta region because I'm based in the region now. And there is a whole lot of attractions here that I know that you guys would love to explore. And my space is always open to any of you, any day that you are planning to come here. I'm around to take you on a tour, or if you need information on any site, anything, any day, I'm willing to give you information, how to navigate the region, how to get the best out of the region. The people, the culture, the food, it's a whole vibe on its own. Now let's move from ideas to impact. People like Wademaya started from just sitting in the small corners of their room, and today they are heroes. They are being celebrated. A whole country like Barbados is organizing a program in the name of Wademaya and the wife. That is a big influence. Barbados is not a small country. So starting from ideas to impact, how do we go about that? You just have to start small. I know people on this call are looking for digital camera, people like me. Before I started this, I was looking for digital camera. But the question is, do I have the funds to afford a digital camera? So your phone can replace your digital camera for now. As you are going, as the recognition and the calls are coming for you to present here and there, people are recognizing your impact, your potential, and they'll be willing to impart, to support. So from there, you started small from your own. And the most annoying thing is that you think you have friends that once you started posting, they'll like your videos, they'll comment, they'll share your channel link. It's a scam, it's a lie. Your friends will not like. It will surprise you that your very own friends that you have pride in, they will be the ones to ignore. But I'm telling you, once it started making, like, you are proving a point, they'll all come around. So you just have to start small. And I might say that where I am right now, I am happy because the group of people I've met in this 2 months journey, I mean, it's amazing. I've met big men, and the networking alone. Now, if I need information about certain things, I don't even need to pick a car to wait. there, just a phone call away, and then it is being done. So you are not just promoting tourism, but you are networking. And in today's world, it is not just about what you know. The first class is not enough. You need networks to make things work for you, to make things complete for you. We have people like Prof. Denyami, one strong woman like Miss Hannah. So these people know somebody that I don't know. They know the minister somewhere. They know one business guru somewhere that they can invest into your project and it will be reality. But for you, you just have the idea, but you don't have the fund. But because you have a network that knows someone somewhere, so you just have to start small, build a personal brand, do a community blog. When you go online, just look for Jamadudu Museum. There's one small guy called Emmanuel. He even stammers. But when you look at his followers, the likes, a lot. He's just doing one community. That is Jamadudu Museum. He posts different stories, different ideas, different content on daily basis. And he's making it. Just go on TikTok and look for the guy. He's making it big time online. Now let's look at from ideas to impact. After starting small, you want to look at monetization strategies. You can do sponsorships. You can pay Meta to spread to recommend your channel to people to get more views and that. You can run ads. You can do partnership with other influencers. People that are into music, people are into they are just influencers into other disciplines. Just partner with them. We can also do collaboration with tourism authorities and then NGOs. So recently I heard that currently Volta region is one of the destinations that the Ghana Tourism Authority is trying to promote. So when I heard the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Art is coming around, I quickly ran there so that I can network. So as we speak, I'm part of her team and the directors of tourism in the region. I have their contacts, so we are working on projects. So with time, right now it might not be evident, but with time, my impact will show. So starting small, that is personal brand, community blog, monetization strategies, sponsorship, ads, partnership, collaboration. These are some of the ways that you can start. You can start from idea and drive impact. Then the last one before I end my presentation, the future of digital tourism. So we have technological trends. Now AI is everywhere. You don't need to sit in your room, rack your brain for days, for months before you come up with ideas. We have a lot of AI tools there. Just go ask them how you can present your information, what and what to say. At what point should you say A? At what point should you say B? Right? So AI, VR, that is virtual reality or virtual tours, they are all there. Storytelling through apps or applications. We also have what sustainability and heritage preservation. The earlier speakers presented on that. It is of much essence that what we are experiencing now, we preserve it for generations to come to also experience or enjoy. People will pose the question, do they really need it, or the generations to come, will they have interest in it? As to whether they have interest or not, we are to preserve it, because things like that were there when I wasn't born. And so if generations that were no more are to destroy it, I'm not sure I'll be able to experience them now. So it is a must and it's of almost need that we preserve this heritage site. And we must lead as what innovators and advocates. There are a lot of people in the digital space, but don't say that there are a lot of people already. So you not add up. How you are presenting your story, how you are promoting destination will be different from how others are doing it. So your networking space, your creativity, and your innovation will make you stand out. On this note, I will ask for questions if there is any. But before you ask the questions, I have few things to ask. As an individual, what will you do after this workshop? What will you do after this workshop? Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Prof. Dachumo. So that was Prof. Simon Dachumo on youth action and digital tourism. So Prof is a tourism graduate. He is a digital content creator. As he stated, let's search and follow him on all platforms, Salom99. So he's a digital content creator and he is a valedictorian of the tourism class 2023. Yes. From his submission, I realized that we always forget to give credit to people when we use their content, when we use their videos and all that. But Prof has brought enlightenment, and thank you, Prof, and for the enlightenment and for encouraging us, and to also put our stories out there on the digital spaces to promote our culture. And I believe we have all been impacted, and a big thank you to our team lead of FutureRise for putting this together with his team. And a big thank you to all our resource persons. They have all been amazing. Kindly send your questions to the chats, and there will be a time for our resource persons to answer them. So feel free and put your questions there. Any question bothering your minds, kindly put them there. Another acknowledgement goes to all our participants who are joining from other countries. We appreciate your presence. Despite the time differences, you have prioritized this program and you have joined. And a big thank you to all our participants also in the country. Thank you. Our next speaker is speaking on careers and entrepreneurship in tourism. And he is a teaching and research assistant at the KNUST. And he has lots of information, lots of resources to speak on his topic. He is in the person of Mr. Isaac Asamoah. Mr. Isaac Asamoah Abuaje. Please, you have the floor. Thank you.
Please, thank you very much. And please, I hope I can be heard.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to speak out and to educate the public on what culture and tourism is really about. And today I'll be introducing to us the identity, the diverse culture part, which can be practiced or you can involve yourself in under tourism. But before we enter into the career path, which tourism introduce, we first need to know why we need to get into tourism. Why should tourism be an interest in your mind or should be considered? And I want to make it known that tourism market has a weight or had a weight of around 11.39 trillion US dollars in 2023, and is predicted in advance to have a growth of 18.44 trillion by the year of 2032. And tourism also has an account of global GDP and also has an account of employment of 1 in 10 citizens in worldwide. And there's a worldwide statistics which was provided by global statistics. And it is a very interest-picking industry by the statistics and by the numbers which I just mentioned. It means that when you enter into tourism and you are a very dedicated and innovative person, you are sure to have a successful journey. And so what I thought is within this industry that is making it have this estimation, this huge estimation, and is currently holding one of the most interesting statistical background in the whole world. And tourism, first, we need to understand why and what tourism is about. What is tourism? The importance and significance of tourism. And tourism it's a periodical movement from one's origin to a destination of interest, and tourism can range the range of periodical movement can range from a day to a year, but not more than one consecutive year. And there are various reasons why an individual would like to partake in this activity. He will leave his place of origin or residence to another place of his own interest to spend a day, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And this can range from leisure, this can range from businesses, this can range from health, and this can range from even education. Yeah. So there are various parts when you partake into tourism. There are various sectors, various reasons why you can make a profit or you can make a career out of tourism. And there are various reasons why tourism is holding this statistical number. And in tourism, there are two critical sectors, and we have the public and the private sectors. Now, the public sectors is the governmental industry, the governmental side of tourism. And the governmental sides are the ones, they are the like the ones who create the pitch, they are the ones who build the stadium, they develop the tracks, they develop the pitch, they develop the guidelines and everything within the pitch. And the private sector is they are the people who move within or move into the pitch to have their match. They are the teams who go and play their football. They are the ones who run the track. So whilst the government or the public sector control everything that happens, the private sector are the ones who are within this industry or within this pitch, who are making the profits, who are creating opportunities to have a successful adventure in this industry. Now, there are various careers paths and there are various rules within tourism, but I like to mention very important ones or very well respected ones, and they may range from industrial tour guides or tour operators, aviation managers or airline executives, event or conference managers, sustainable tourism experts or ecotourism specialists, travel and tour consultants, tourism entrepreneur or destination developer, a hotel general manager, a tourism lecturer or a researcher, a heritage site manager or a cultural resource manager, and a tourism policy officer or a tourism policy planner. Now, I'd like to explain some of the responsibility of these people or these job opportunities or career opportunities I just mentioned. And I'll start from the tourism policy officer or tourism policy planner. And this is the work of the government. These individuals are working in the government to provide strategies which can be long term and short term, which will lead to the development of tourism or the industry within a country. And they also, in fact, in all the economical plans which was extended by every president within Ghana throughout the years, they included these people within them because when you look at the plans which was listed out in by the presidential people over the period from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah to our current Mahama, whenever a plan is made which may span within 10 years or 20 years, without tourism, we can't, because tourism is the second reason which will lead to a person living wherever he is. Whilst the first is for person to seek easiness, for the hardship of his current location to be easy. So a Voltarian will leave maybe Volta region to Cape Coast because of education or job opportunities, so that he will not be stressed in Volta, or so that he will not have the burdens of the burden present in Volta region will not have an effect on him. So he may be moved to Cape Coast or may even move to Accra. But the second reason, which is the most important reason, this person will not move because of this person might not move because of for to seek shelter or to seek business, but this person might move because of how beautiful purpose is, because of how the creative purpose is, because of the attraction present in this place. And the person who is responsible to develop policies within the economical structure for these places to be erected are the tourism policy officer. Now we come to the heritage site manager or the cultural resource manager. These are the individuals. They are also governmental sector individuals who are responsible. They can be governmental, um, they can be localized, which is the community can elect an individual to look after the heritage or to look after the monument. But usually they are governmental elected. That's why I said they are governmental. They are responsible for taking care of the various monuments or the various sites which are present within an institution, a metropolitan or a region. So the various attractions, for example, Cape Coast Castle, the Osu Castle, all of these people, there is a head over there who is managing the activities present within this industry, present within this monument. They take care of it, they manage it, they make sure it is well catered for so that multiple, it will not compromise the future generation who will be coming, it will not compromise the profit which is being made out of those monuments. And the third one I mentioned was the hotel general manager. These people are usually private sector. Yeah, they are responsible for taking care of the accommodative sector of the industry. So when a Voltarian, like I said, leave water region to Cape Coast, you will surely need a place to sleep, you will surely need a place to rest, you will surely need a place to lay his head, to eat and do a lot of activities. And these people are the ones who are responsible for these activities. And I wanted to give an example that if someone coming overseas from USA is coming into Ghana, there are various people who give out their houses as rental. This person may sign up or may book a month. So the individual holding the house will give it out as rental for this month, and the individual can provide a car or can provide a car, and all this fall under the expenses of the tourists who will be coming into Ghana. And so when he comes into Ghana, his accommodative, his transportation, his everything is overlooked, or it is catered for by this hotel manager who gave out the house for rental. So the fifth one I'll be talking about is the tourism entrepreneur or the destination developer. This is also a private sector increment, and these people focus on providing or filling in the gaps within the industry. So they look for the needs and the wants of the market, and they try to fill in those gaps to make profits and to also benefit the local community. And these people are the tourism industry, the tourism entrepreneur or the destination developers. And we move next to the travel and tourism. We move up to the travel and tourism consultant, and this is my last career opportunity which I'll be talking about. And the travel and tourism consultants are the people who present the package. They are the people who guide the tourism to make a appealing package. And the tour guide or the travel guide, which is also under the travel consultant, are the people within the various attractions who are the ones who educate. Like I said, the reason why someone will leave his place or the reason why someone will partake in the tourism activity may be for leisure, may be for businesses, may be for health, and may be for education. So the various educative reasons when someone move are partaken by the tour guides. They educate the tourists, they influence the tourists, they make them know what is happening within this monument, why this monument was erected, why this monument has been here for these various ages, and what is going on within this monument. Now we move on to discuss entrepreneurship and how one can become an entrepreneur to benefit from the various statistical points I just gave. And we all know what an entrepreneurship or who an entrepreneur is. But we have a tourism and entrepreneur, and a tourism entrepreneur can be a cooperative or can be an individual who partook or who started or generated and is managing a tourism business which is responsible for providing service or product to tourism. Now, this individual or these businesses can be erected by a family or an individual person. It can be erected by the community or the local individual citizens in the community. And the third one, it can be the government. So it can be advanced by the government, it can be advanced by an individual or a family, and can be advanced by the local community. But how are these businesses erected? What are the steps or what are the principles you need to follow for you to be able to even start a business in tourism? And first of all, I like to make known these principles. And first, you have to do an investigation of the location where you are going to build your business. So you need to go to that particular location to look for the various businesses present, to notice the gaps and the niche of those businesses. Now, when you come back from your investigation of the location, you now come to look through your results, your findings, and you try to separate out the ones which you are capable. So you look for the common niche, your niche, the ones you have the desire and the ones you have the capability to fulfill. Then after separating out those ones, you later research the market. So you go back to the location and research the market. Why are these things not filled yet? Why are these gaps being left open for all this period of time? How can I fill this gap? What would the market be like if I fill this gap? So you research on the government to notice what they want, what they desire, how you can do all these things. Then the next one you move on to is developing a plan. So you develop an operative plan, you develop the finances for your operation to have a success, you develop a goal, you outline a goal and objectives where this business, this gap you are hoping to fill will be successful. Then the next one will be the legal requirement. You register this business because they are governmental institution and there are legal systems which the government, like I said in the beginning, the government controls the pitch. They build the stadium, they run the stadium. So if you don't see the heads, the leaders within this stadium, you may not be able to make or you may not be able to benefit, you may not be able to become a player within the stadium. So you first have to have a legal requirement, register the business with the governmental institutions to fulfill all the legal principles to be able to partake on your business. And the last one will be for you to market your services. So you make now that you're able to develop the niche, you're able to develop your outline, you're able to legally register your business, you now come out to the market to make your service known to them so that they'll be able to patronize your service, they'll be able to come within your lines to be able to fulfill their desires which they are hoping to fulfill. Now, there are various common needs. There are various businesses within the tourism business that various entrepreneurs usually partake in. And these various sectors can be the ecotourism, can be cultural tour, can be food tourism, can be the accommodation services, and can be the travel tech platform. Now we are going to talk of ecotourism. Now, ecotourism usually focus on the sustainability of the natural environment. So these are business opportunities which are usually channeled against the protection of the environment, how to make profit out of the environment without compromising it, without altering what the environment contains or how the environment will be in the near future. Then the second one will be the culture tour. The culture tour is where the content creation and everything comes in. The culture tour is focused on making aware, publicizing on the cultures or the principles or the rights within an institution or within a country, within a community, within the host community. So with culture, you make the traditions, the historical life, the lifestyle, you make the institution, the community known publicly. You explore the community and you make it known what is within those community, and that's where content creation usually comes in, because content creation is usually about exposing what is hidden within an institution or a community. And usually when you look on the net, even on YouTube, most of the content which are usually published out is usually about, oh, when you come to Cape Coast, what you see, what you witness, how you live, what are the advantages you gain over there, how is life over there, what are the living standards over there. That's where your culture tour comes in. And the food tourism is usually focused on the cuisines which are present in the local institutions. So, like I said, the culture tour, food tourism is also a sector of cultural tour, but it has its own step, it has its own feet, it has its own legs. So food tourism is usually finding out the cuisines of these local communities, and it also has a large interest in content creation. So content creators usually focus on presenting to us or presenting to the public. They want to whet your desires for the food or the diaries which are present in the local communities. That's a Nigerian may move to Ghana, a content creator, usually to publish the food of Ghana. A Nigerian may even move to Ghana just to find out the difference between Jollof, Ghana Jollof, and Nigeria Jollof. And that will be his content. And all this fall under food tourism. Then we have the accommodative services. And I made it known the accommodative services, some of the advantages you can gain out of the accommodative services and how the interest you can make out of it. And I made this example of a person giving out his house as rental, his car as rental for a tourist who come and live there, and this tourist can spend over a month, a year, but not more than a year. Can spend it within those that confinement, and this person, everything of this person be catered for by the accommodating servicer, and every money that will be coming out, like he'll take it where the tourists will go and eat, where the tourists will go and sleep, where the tourists will do everything, will be catered for by the accommodating person. But the transportation service is usually for the tourist for him to control, because the place the tourist will visit will not be controlled by the accommodating service, because the tourist has his own interests, has his own desires. There are, when he was coming to his destination, there's a certain.
Your time is
Oh,
up.
thank you. So I'll be concluding very soon. My conclusion is a simple question about, I've introduced to you the importance and the significance and the statistical background of tourism. So, what are the various desires or what are the various advantages you are hoping to partake in this industry to make what you want to achieve to grow this industry in various ways and in various parts? So, this is the end of my presentation, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Isaac Asamoah Abuaje. That was a plausible presentation, and most of the careers might not be familiar to us, but tonight Prof has unveiled lucrative careers in tourism. Please keep your questions flowing. There will be a time where our resource persons will answer them, and we will also have the liberty to unmute and ask our questions too. So kindly note that, so that when we get to that session, it will be a smooth process. I must say that all our speakers so far have been men, and I'm delighted to say that our next speaker is a female woman empowerment, and she'll be speaking on careers and entrepreneurship, and is a sequel to the presentation by Prof. Asamoah. Our speaker is a teaching and researcher assistant at KNUST, and for emphasis sake, she is the only woman speaker in the midst of strong panel of men. She is in the person of Miss Hannah Menu. Prof. Hannah Menu, please, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bechi. Thank you for the introduction. And thank you for my team to. Okay, without much ado, time is fast spent. I'll continue from where Mr. Samoa left. I will be diving into the skills and qualities for tourism careers. You see, our tourism businesses and our careers is not like other businesses. Tourism is more of service rendering, like you selling out service. So if you are not able to sell it well, it can perish because it's intangible. So you need to get a certain skills that will help you to be able to sell out this service well, so that you will not run at a loss. So looking at this service skills and qualities, I'll first talk about communication. You see, this tourism career, everything about us communicates. Before you even speak, Let's take a hotel, for example. The moment you enter a hotel, the employees there, their uniform, it speaks a lot about them. Their body language, how they move around. You look at all this before you even speak to the person. So communication is very key in our tourism careers. Know how to communicate. Don't just be rude when you are there as an employee, a manager, or whatever that you are doing. Learn how to communicate. We have a model called self-qua model when we were doing our undergraduate thesis. We came to learn about a lot of things in this model, how to measure service quality. We came across a word like empathy. And you see, you need to get this skill because it's service that you are giving out to people. If you are not able to feel and empathize with a person when the person is going through something at your place of work, then I don't know which kind of a tourism personnel that you are. So you have to be empathetic, show empathy to people when they are there, and also how responsive you are. You need to get this skill. If someone is in need of something, how do you respond to the person? Are you available to solve issues when there is a failure? Responsiveness, how fast and how accurate do you respond to people? This communication case is very important because it determines how a customer will be loyal to you as a employee or a tourism something in your workplace. So communication, it's a skill that you must have. If you belong in this tourism career sector, you need to be well endowed in your communication. The next one I'll talk about is customer service and cultural sensitivity. You see, customer service is very key. This starts the moment the person walks into your premises. So during, before, and after, how you treat these customers, it's very important. It will determine whether they will come back, whether they will spread a negative word of mouth about your business, or whether they will post a positive remarks on you. This is very important. Customer service. Know how to talk well to people, as I already stated, and know how to be there when someone is in need. Because so far as the person is in your hand as your premises, everything concerning the person should also be your concern. So customer service, it's a very important thing. And with the cultural sensitivity too, know that everyone has a different background. Everyone has a different culture, how they were raised and all that. So as a tourism personnel in your career, whether a hotel, a content creator, wherever that you find yourself, learn about the backgrounds of people before you associate yourself with them or communicate with them. Some people naturally don't like hugging. So if you are having a guest, research about the background of the person. If the person doesn't like hugging, don't go and open your arms so wide. You will feel ashamed. They will just be looking at you and won't mind you. Some people love it, others love just handshake. Know about this background of the person and walk in lane with it. There are certain foods that people don't even eat. As a tour guide, an escort, you are working with people. You send them to a hotel and you don't even know that this person is a vegetarian. So they will just serve anything to the person, and at the end, allergic reactions and all that. Do you think the person will come back to you for a business or even recommend you? No. So this cultural sensitivity is very important. Know about the background of the people that you are dealing with. If possible, learn about their languages, everything about them, their dressing. Because people feel happy when they are within environments, they say, oh, I can associate with this person. The person is coming, is Jamaican, he has dressed nice. You are escorting him. I know you have to value our culture, as our previous speakers said. But just that one time as a tour guide, the person is a Jamaican wearing something. You having a touch of Jamaican on you will make the person even feel welcome. Oh, wow, I can associate with this person. So know this aspect of people, their background and everything, so that you can work well with them as a tourism personnel in your career. The next one I will talk about is digital literacy and marketing. Just as our previous speaker, Prof. Simon, talked about digital literacy, it's very important in marketing. In this age, everything is about the media. So if you don't know how to edit, how to take picture, how to communicate online and everything, it can really put you in a serious situation. So digital literacy, mentioned some tools that we use for editing, the CapCut, the Canvas and all that. Let's equip ourselves with these skills. It will really help us. And with marketing too, it's a very serious thing that we have to take note of. Know your target market. You are in the career as a hotel manager or events planner, whoever that you are. Know your target market. If let's say you've opened a night club or something and you want to market it or advertise it, and you go and publish this night club in a newspaper, knowing well that the young people of our age that we will come to the night club, we don't go in for newspapers to read. Even now, the old people that used to read are shifting to our age now. So if you go and publish your night club in a newspaper, you've deviated from your target market. They will not get to know that there is this new thing that has been opened. So all what I'm trying to say is know the people that you are marketing to, the platforms that you can get them. So if you know your target people that, oh, it's young people that I'm looking out for in my business, know that they can be found in TikTok, Instagrams, and all that. So if you know your targets, you can know the platform that you advertise or market your product to for them to come. So this is also an important skill and a quality that you should have. With the marketing to get influencers, as Mr. Simon said, if you are not well known in the media aspect, get someone that is influential to help you market the thing out. And also market frequently. You've just opened a business or you've been employed as a marketing director or something, and you market the products on maybe your social media. Let's take WhatsApp, for example. You post it there today, and you will come back in a month's time to come and post your flyer again. Like, we are not sitting there waiting for you. There are a lot of competitors out there. So people will easily forget about you. So market frequently as long as you can, and as long as your resources can take you. Market frequently so that people will get acquainted with it and get to know it until the product itself has developed a brand that even without your marketing, the service or the product can market itself. At that time, you can reduce the frequency of the marketing. The next skill that I will talk about that you have to have is project management and innovation. When we talk about project management, it involves everything about planning, organizing, and controlling resources to achieve the specific goals that you want. So as an employee, a top planner, event management, you don't just get up and say, I'm going to plan this birthday party for someone, like without nothing. You've not drawn your budget, you've not looked at prices of things, nothing. You just stand up, you get to the market and you start buying things. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Plan everything from the time that you start the program to the end evaluation, everything you need to plan and be very innovative, because the tourism sector, it runs yearly, all the time. There is business there. but it comes in off seasons and it has a peak season. So when the business is down, you see December, a lot of people threw in engagements and all that, partying and all that. That is the peak season of you for a tourism activity. So what if this season is off and there is no December? What are you going to do? That's when you have to be innovative, bring in new ideas. So if your hotel is December is out and there is nothing going on, doesn't mean you close the rooms down. No, you can plan something, or maybe Fridays, karaoke nights, something new ideas that will draw people in that off season, so the season blooms again. So be innovative. I remember when I was doing internship in one hotel in Accra, an Asian man came and booked a room for 2 weeks. And within 1 week, the man came to the restaurant. I was at that place at the time. The man was complaining that the breakfast is every day bread, egg, sausage, bread, egg, sausage. He is tired, so they should change it for him. Just this simple thing. The supervisor at the restaurant said it's a fixed thing that they provide every morning. So it's not because of this one person that they are going to change the meal. This man was paying 800 Ghana cedis per night for executive room, and he had paid for 2 weeks. In front of me, the man went to the receptionist, took the 1 week payment that he has not slept in the hotel. They refunded his money for him and he went. But just when the hotel is here, it's like 5 minutes walk to West Hills Malls in Accra. He said he wants pancakes. If you can't even do it, the mall has varieties of those Chinese breads and pancakes that you could just buy one, microwave and give it to him. It could have been okay. But because of this thing, the person has to check out and calculate 800 Ghana cedis times 7 days, the amount of money that they lose. But they wouldn't think that they've lost something. No. Yes, they wouldn't think that it has perished. You will get someone to come and sleep in, but how consistent would that be? So try to be innovative. Try to bring new ideas and improve. If there is something, there is no harm in changing. So bring in new ideas, even if it's an artificial attraction that will bring people to your place. Bring it in and develop your business. So this is also an important skill that a tourism personnel you should have in your career. Without much ado, I'll move on to my next topic, which is how to start a tourism business. My previous colleague, Mr. Sama, talked a lot on it, so I will not go deep into it. It says you have to identify a tourism gap or a need, just as he said. So you go to the destination that you are planning to build a business or whatever. Identify the need. Now everyone is going to space tourism. It's the thing now, but you don't have money, but you get there. So that's it. Space tourism, what do people need? Is there some special kind of attire that they wear there? Do we have some special outfits or shoe that you can wear there? If you identify and you know that this thing is an issue, people are not getting it, you can go in there, buy those kind of things and supply it to the people going to space. It's a business gap, a tourism gap that can trend. So identify this gap and know the need of the people so that you can provide to them. Because if they need A and you go and provide B, no one is going to look at your way. So identify that need. And also develop your business idea. As he said, the third point, you need to create a brand and a marketing plan. Create a brand. Be different from people. Even the color of your building can separate you from other people. How you speak as a content creator, as a previous Mr. Simon said, how you talk, it's a service. So if you're not able to convince people, then you are doomed for failure. So be convincing. Build your brand. your brand and know your marketing plan, how to get the people, where to advertise, how to research and all that. And also register the business and get licenses, as my colleague said. Because Ghana, especially hotels, if you just build anything, the tourism people will worry you day and night until you pay. So register before you even build to avoid all these problems. And also build partnership. If you are a small business that you are coming up, you can collaborate with local governments. Just as my brother Simon said, the moment he heard about the tourism minister coming, he just ran there to network. That's it. So build partnerships with people and expand yourself. The last one I would like to talk about is some of the challenges in this tourism careers and its solution, especially in Ghana here. The funding and capital access, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but my professor, Mrs. Lauren Shiapoke, she always says you don't have to start big like that. You can start a food restaurant with just one table, one chair. One couple will come and sit on it today. The next day they will come with their children, and like that you go. So if you don't have the capital access, you don't just have to start boom big like that. You can start from scratch, little by little, and you'll be expanding yourself as the money comes in. So funding is a challenge, but you can still find your way around it if you are very optimistic about the business that you want to do. And also seasonal demand, as I said, it's a challenge in the tourism career. Even traveling, there are seasons that people travel a lot, especially during the summer and all that. And after that, people travel, but it will not be that frequent like during summer and all that. So this seasonal demand is a challenge. This is where the innovation part of it has to come in. Innovative ideas, improved your skills and everything during this season. And if you have to divert from that business to another one, do so until it comes into its peak season again. You can go in. So the tourism businesses, it has a seasonal demand and it's a challenge, but you can still find your way around it if you are innovative. And the last one, I will say, and still on the seasonal demand, you can diversify, as I said, and pricing strategies. So if you are in your peak season, let's say a nightclub that December people are dropping in, you can increase your price. Sorry, not too high that people will run away from you to your competitors. No, but increase it a bit that so when it goes to the off-peak season, it can balance it, you see. And when it's in that off-peak season, you can do buy one, get one free and all that. So this is the little presentation I have for you today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Prof. Hannah. This is not little, this is a great and big presentation. Prof. Hannah Menu has delved into essential aspects and skills that we need to equip ourselves with in the tourism space. Thank you very much once again, Prof. Hannah. And again, Prof. Hannah is the best graduating female for the 2024 tourism class. That's a great achievement. It's a good one. It's questions and answer time. And thank you all for staying with us from the beginning till now. Thank you all. So it's questions and answer time. Kindly show by hand if you want to speak so that I can call you. So you can hit on the raise hand button if you want to speak. Then I call you to come in. And if you want your questions read, to kindly send it to the chat box. So are there any questions? In case I don't see the raise hand, you can alert me by on mute and then I allow you. Okay, please, are there any questions? You can unmute or show by hand. Okay. So as people prepared to give their questions, there were some questions we received on the registration link. So I would read them out. Then our resource persons, please answer it. So the first one, kindly note them. So the first one, how would I be able to use events and heritage tourism to develop my community or tourism industry? How would I be able to use events and heritage tourism to develop my community or tourism industry? Yeah, the second one is it's it's an intriguing one, so I wouldn't read it. Okay, let me for for the benefit of any. So the person was asking if there will be snacks. So I'm sure the person they know would have it online. So the third question, can someone focus on only tourism aspects alone rather than both culture? Can someone focus on only tourism aspects alone rather than both culture? Then the fourth, FutureRise Foundation Ghana is about what? What is FutureRise Foundation about? I think our team lead delved into it at the beginning of the program. But these are the questions to the panel. So Miss Hannah Menu, Prof. Hannah Menu, Prof. Asamoah Boaje, Prof. Simon Dachumo, Prof. John Prempe, Prof. Denyame.
Mrs. H, I think there's a hand raised.
Oh, there's a hand raised. Okay, I can't see it from here. So please, can the person go ahead? Please. Okay. Mr. Isaac Frimpong, I can see now. Please go ahead with your question.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Great. I must commend the team for such an insightful and powerful program. I have a lot to comment, but let me go straight. My first question has to do with your target audience. Who are you educating? What is the aim or the vision, the goal of your program? Because if I see the platform here, we have the maximum 18 participants. Let's subtract the speakers, the panel members from it. And again, it seems they are all our colleagues from the tourism universities and the same program. So who are your targets? Who are you educating? Ability, industry, is it the ministry, the government official? Again, who are your partners? Because when you look into the tourism development plan of Ghana, we have education and training wing. Parliament approved finance. And what you are doing here is not different from what ILO, that is International Labour Organization, what they are doing with the ministry. And it's even seems you the requisite skills directly that we need in the industry. So I want to just ask these two questions, and if time permits, I will come back and then give a bit of advice on how you be able to spearhead this initiative to hit the ministry, hit the community, the traditional leaders that you talk about. Because most of the participants here, they know about 99% of the information you give. How do we walk the talk? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Krimpo. So this is a question to our panel. But since it's directly to the vision and talking about the target audience, I would call on our team lead to answer it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say the FutureRise Foundation is a youth-focused non-profit dedicated to empowering Ghanaian youth through education, leadership development, and sustainable livelihood opportunities. Through culture, tourism, and community engagement as key tools for development. So our target audience is mainly the youth in Ghana. So we are starting from the youth in Ghana. We have future, plans of expanding to the continent and also the world at large. And when it comes to partnership, we are looking at partnering with the government, the other NGOs, and a lot. But for now, this is something that we just began, and so we want to take it little by little and grow with it. And so we are just focusing mainly on what we have now, as in the knowledge we have in tourism, trying to let people know, change the narrative about the tourism careers and all. Yes, I hope you get me.
Okay, thank you. If time permits, I'll come back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nanaya Abuaje. Please, are there any more questions? Okay, so back to our panel, please.
Please, can you take the first question? Let's take it one after the other.
How would I be able to use events and heritage tourism to develop my community or tourism?
Okay. How will you use events and heritage tourism to develop your community? Okay, so let me contribute to that before my friends come in. While in KNUST, I joined this event group called Matthias Event. Actually, the design stemmed from what we studied in class, a course called event management. So for me, I think I realized that event tourism is something that will fetch a lot of money. So while doing the course, I went to do internship with this group called Matthias Event. So almost every weekend, we are moving from one engagement to the other. We are moving from one place to another to do either weddings or other forms of event. Now, when we do this, we are paid. And for confidentiality's sake, I wouldn't reveal the amount of money that my boss charges for these services to be rendered. The communities where we find ourselves, there are events going on day in, day out. We ourselves can put up events showcasing the culture. So when you check KNUST Campo, there are days that set aside for food festival. Different regions showcasing the food that they eat, they consume, they have pride in. So we can organize events of that sort. Event to show people our dance, our music, our foods and all that. So it depends on you, the individual. They've mentioned earlier mentioned the different types of tourism that we have. I am interested in adventure tourism. So that is what I'm working towards. So if you are interested in heritage and event tourism, that is fine. That is your niche. You just have to look at what you have in your environment and what you have in your surrounding. Now that you have selected that, you need to get the information from the locals, because Prof. Isaac said that most of these informations that we need is resting with these local people. So you need to partner with them. So you need to bring them on board. From there, your marketing skills and your communication. You want to promote heritage and event tourism. After partnering with the local communities, you need your marketing skills, where we also talk about digital tourism. So these digital tools will help you get to your targeted audience. Are they young people? Are they old people? Who are you looking for? So for me, this is one of the ways we can use heritage and then event tourism. You are able to identify your niche. This is what you want to do. You need information to convince people to come. This information is resting with the locals. Partner with them. After that, let your marketing skills and digital tools help you to do the rest. These are my views or my contribution to that question. I'll leave the space for other panelists to contribute to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dachumo. Please, are there any more?
Okay, I would like to contribute something to the second question. It said, can someone focus on tourism alone instead of culture, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can do that. Tourism alone is a broad discipline on its own. You can do that aside the culture aspect. But what you need to know is the tourism businesses, everywhere you find yourself, even when you are not doing the cultural tourism, heritage, and everything, you still need to know the background of the people you are dealing with, the culture, because everyone is raised differently and all that. You are not doing culture tourism for anything. You are just in the tourism sector, maybe an ushering agency, it's a tourism thing. You are in the aviation sector, it's solely tourism. You are a travel and tour operator, it's solely a tourism thing, sorry. But still, you need to know the cultural background of the people that you are dealing with. So you can take the cultural aspect out as the heritage tourism, the food tourism, and all that, but know a bit more of people's background so that you don't offend them in your dealings or that. So you can just focus on tourism to build your career. But the little I would say is know about the people that you are dealing with so that you don't offend them for them to become disloyal to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we've exhausted our time. And the last question has been touched by Nana Yao Abuaje. So at this moment, we'll wrap up and close. Yes. Okay, so I'll call Nana Yao Abuaje to give us the closing remarks and end with a prayer.
Okay, so I would say distinguished guests, facilitators, partners, and our superstar participants. As all good things must come to a temporary end, I want to sincerely thank you for being part of this groundbreaking day. When we were planning this pilot program, some people said, tourism and culture, will the youth be interested? Well, today has proven them wrong and proven that when you mix culture with vision and tourism with energy, magic happens. To our speakers and facilitators, thank you for your wisdom. You dropped so many gems. I felt like I was sitting in a diamond mine. To our participants, future tour operators, culture creators, and development champions, you have made this event unforgettable. Your ideas were all a reminder that Ghana's future is in very capable and very entertaining hands. And to everyone who joined us today, whether you came for the knowledge or for the networking, we are glad you came. You are now officially part of the FutureRise family. And in this family, we believe in rising together. As you leave, I challenge you to carry today's conversation into your communities. Don't let your notes gather dust like your old JHS report cards, but put your ideas to work. Share what you have learned. Start something, even if it is small. Remember that the cocoa tree started as a seed too.
God bless.
And lastly, if anyone asks what you did today, just smile and say, you joined a program that's changing Ghana, one youth at a time. Thank you all once again. Keep rising. The future is ours. And Heavenly Father, we thank you for a successful program. We thank you that you help us practicalize everything we've done here. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Thank you all for joining. Up to you, Mrs. Deji.
From Ghana's heart, we take our stand. A future bright, a promised land. With every step, our dreams align. Together, strong, our spirits shine. FutureRise.